What's up, y'all? Welcome back to MSM Audio. I'm Tim. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is part 2 of the LuxeVERB review. Okay, the first video I did, the input and the reverb sections. Now I'm going to do the feedback and output sections. So there's a parameter here that you can turn it off and on. So let's take a look at what we have here. You have a high cut, low cut. Here's the pitch shifting knob from -12 semitones all the way up to +12. You have a gain for the feedback, a delay, a tempo-based option here, and a reverb mix. So let's go ahead and turn up the gain on the pitch shifting, for the feedback and to hear how it sounds. So immediately you can hear that it causes like a shrill sound on the reverb tail. So let's play around with the high cut and low cut and see how it sounds. That's too shrill. Now I will say I didn't use this section for what I ultimately, how I ultimately shaped the reverb. I didn't use the feedback section. I had it turned off. So but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to use this sound. I couldn't really shape it into something that sounded pleasing, so I just left it out. But you can hear how that pitch shifting sounds. Let me scale it down. So it was more bright, now it gets more darker. Make it more bright. Can apply the delay. So you can shorten up the feedback delay, and then you have a reverb mix. You can, when it's turned all the way right, it's wet, and as you scale back, you can dry out the mix. So it doesn't work for this sound, but again, it gives you opportunities to be creative, and especially in the reverb section, these freeze and sustain functions. If you find the right sound to add some shrill, you can decide how much pitch shifting you want to use. If you want it bright, if you want to scale it down, make it more dark, adjust your gain, the delay, the reverb mix. You can do some interesting things with automation, like real quick. you can use that freeze function with automation to create some interesting grooves and kind of in and outs with the right sound. Though this particular sound is not the right sound for this feature, but again, it works. Now, the output section, obviously you have your dry and wet, but then you also have these peaking filters here to add some additional shaping, which is another portion that I like. Let's see. Let's try and add some gain. Let's change the frequency. Okay, then they also have this width parameter here, and you can apply some stereo separation. So let me see, it's set at 1.2 right now. Let's go 0 for mono. Let's see how that sounds. Try some more separation. Then you can play with the wet and the dry. With this, you can, if you want to do some layering, you can come up with a layer of reverb to play with and do some side chaining and create interesting layered sounds also. But again, this particular sound, I didn't use the feedback. I definitely used the output. In the next video, I'm going to get into the envelope section. I used that as well for my final reverb shape for this particular sound. But this is part 2 of the LuxeVERB review. In the last and final video, I'm going to review the envelope. I'll see y'all on the next one.